morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, it's probably fair that we have a look at Pikachu V. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ourselves a Pikachu V, and I, for one, am delighted. Though at this stage, I do need to say I was wrong. We knew we were getting a Lightning Pokémon V, and I told you in my video, I'll link it in the description so you can go and see how wrong I was. I told you that the only Pokemon I was convinced it wouldn't be was Pikachu. And the reason very simply is because our next set, Astonishing Volt Tackle, has a Pikachu V in, so I figured why would they put a Pikachu V in a box and in our next set? I had very good reason for thinking that. I was wrong, ladies and gentlemen, and I point out when I'm right, so it seemed only fair to point out that I was in fact wrong. So now we've established how wrong I was, and that we are in fact getting a Pikachu V. What can we say about Pikachu? Well, starting off with the basics, we've got 190 HP, which is on the low side for a Pokemon V, which is not good. We do have a retreat cost of 1, which means free retreat with U-turn board, which could be worse. Means it's not removed by Tool Scrapper and stuff. It means you can basically get out the active whenever you want. Being able to get out the active whenever you want is a good thing. And we can see we've got a weakness to fighting, which is honestly not ideal. You see, there's a lot of really good fighting weak Pokemon at the moment, like Pikachu and Zekrom, like the upcoming Eternatus V Max, and the problem is that anyone that's trying to counter those decks, maybe with something like Excadrill, is going to inevitably be countering this, and that is, let's just say, inconvenient. And being a Lightning Pokemon, you are losing a lot of your tricks come rotation. You're losing Electro Power to do extra damage. You're losing Thunder Mountain to reduce your attack cost. You will still have Tapu Koko Prism Star to accelerate a little bit of energy, and that's quite nice. But Lightning Pokemon are on the downswing, and that's a little bit sad. But what about this Pikachu? What does this Pikachu do? Well, for 1 Lightning Energy, 30 damage. Okay. I'll be honest with you, this is a kind of attack which is way better if we do have Electro Power. Because 30 isn't really enough to get anything. It doesn't get Ditto, although, to be fair, that is rotating out. It doesn't get Snom. It's just a bit upsetting. What you really want to do is have the option of being able to use Electro Power. That's not to say you will use Electro Power, but it's nice to have the option. And the theory here, essentially, is that you go second, you've got a basic Pokemon, single energy, try and drop a couple of Electro Power, especially if you're playing Green's Exploration, which a bunch of Lightning decks are right now, and then you get a nice cheeky KO to start the game, or maybe even end the game. You know, there's plenty of games at the moment, because going first you're not allowed to attack or use a supporter. There are plenty of games where one player passes with 1 Pokemon out, and then they basically have to cross their fingers so their opponent won't get a turn 1 KO. It's not ideal. So, you know, this could be good for that. As it is, it just becomes awkward. Because without Electro Power, you're just doing 30 damage. And you might find the odd 60 HP water Pokemon that's weak to lightning. Might happen. But as it stands at the moment, it's just not looking good. And that makes me a little bit sad, if I'm honest with you. Don't like the first attack. Unless we're kind of expanded with Electro Power, that brief period before rotation, etc. But the second attack I like quite a lot more. 30 damage for each of your benched Pokemon for 2 Lightning Energy. Now, you can use Tapu Koko to pay this in one go, or you can just attach twice. It's a nice attack cost to pay. Thunder Mountain will also work very briefly pre-rotation. The point is, we're feeling pretty good in terms of being able to pay the cost. That is a good thing. Now, does 150. What I find really weird, this is essentially Celebi V's attack. Celebi V for 2 energy does 150 if you've got a full bench. Now, Celebi V is 50 base plus 20 more for each of your bench, whereas Pikachu is just 30 for each of your bench. It's a weird way to get to the same place. And bearing in mind that Celebi also has 180 HP, so I suppose Pikachu wins by 10, these are eerily similar Pokemon. Although Celebi searches out 2 Pokemon rather than doing 30 damage. With low benches, Celebi will be better. I mean, if you've got 1 bench Pokemon, Celebi does 70, whereas Pikachu does 30. 2 bench Pokemon, Celebi does 90, but Pikachu does 60. But by the time you get up to 5 bench Pokemon, Celebi's doing 50 plus 100, Pikachu's doing 50 times 3. So they both end up at 150. And unfortunately, I feel about Pikachu's attack here like I felt about Celebi's attack. I don't know if it's enough damage. If you're hitting for weakness, it becomes significantly better. But here's the thing. Is it actually enough? Because one of the most widely played Lightning Weak Pokemon we see around at the moment is Lapras V Max. I've played against a bunch of those on PTCGO lately. And although Lapras V will go down very easily, Lapras V Max actually sits there rocking 320 HP. And even with weakness, you are maxing out at 300 damage. Now, to be fair, it's not all bad, because let's not forget we've still got Vitality Band. And Vitality Band will do an extra 10 damage, so that 150 goes up to 160, double with weakness goes up to 320 and does get the one-hit KO. But if I'm using a Pokemon V to hit for weakness, and I'm then having to use a Vitality Band just to guarantee the KO, I don't know how happy I am about this. I think it's slightly underwhelming. That's not to say it's a bad attack, and it's not to say I hate the attack or anything stupid like that. It's just to say it's a little bit disappointing. It's fine, and it's low energy, right? The low energy is good. The low energy is what sells me. You're not doing quite as much as I'd like, your HP's a bit low, but you've got a low energy attack, and the fact of the matter is, if you're running around Lightning Weak, Pikachu has got your back. If you want a Lightning type attacker, and Lightning doesn't have many 2 energy attackers. If we look at the kind of Pokemon that Lightning tends to play, you got Tapu Koko V, who does 200, but it's for 3 energy. We've got Zeraora, which admittedly is rotating, that does 160 for 3 energy. We got Raichu and Alolan Raichu that does 160 and Paralysis if you became active on a free prize Pokemon for 3 energy. And then Pikachu and Zekrom does 150 for 3 energy, but then does accelerate energy and gets you going for the rest of the game. So, kind of point Pikachu and Zekrom there. The thing is, pre-Rebel Clash, there was a real opening for a 2 energy Lightning attacker. But then when Rebel Clash came out, we got Boltund. And the thing about Boltund is, it's a 2 energy attacker. Now it does 10 damage base plus 30 more for each lightning energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So the deal basically is that if you get 5 energy on the field, Boltund becomes better. If you've got fewer than 5 energy on the field, i.e. 2 on the active and 3 on the bench, then Pikachu becomes a better option. The thing is, Pikachu's a weirdly good turn 1 option. In a world where Tapu Koko exists and will survive the rotation, and in a world where we've got Dedenne GX, so filling up your bench is pretty easy, especially given that we're all still playing Electromagnetic Radar, I can easily see a world in which you go second, and it's just energy on Pikachu, Tapu Koko, hit for 150. In the mid to late game, not loving Pikachu V. I think a lot of the time Boltund V will be better. But I actually really am loving Pikachu V here as a turn 1 option. I said about going second, turn 1, single energy, 30 damage, if only we had Electro Power. Well, that was all leading up to this, because actually, turn 1 going second if you don't have Tapu Koko prized. And it is much, much easier to get 5 bench Pokemon than it is to get 5 energy. To the point where you're not getting 5 energy turn 1 going second to get Boltund rolling. Pikachu V is not a Pokemon around which to build a deck. And I ain't going to sit here and argue that he is. But Pikachu V very much is a Pokemon where if you're going second and you use Tapu Koko, and every Lightning deck is going to use Tapu Koko and it will survive the rotation, this is a really good option. And in a world where everyone's going, oh no, Thunder Mountain's being rotated, all those free energy Lightning attackers are so much harder to get working, wouldn't it be nice to have a 2 energy Lightning attacker? I can see this being a one-of in Lightning decks, and if you're going for a more aggressive build, I'd go as far as to say I think it should be a one-off. So I'm going to go ahead and give it between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. No, it's not got as much raw power as a lot of Lightning Pokemon we've got at the moment. And no, it's not the easiest to use with having to fill your bench. But if you're going second, I'll be honest with you, there aren't really many Lightning Pokemon that are going to be as good. Yes, obviously Pikachu and Zekrom, if you've got the 3rd energy. But I'd like to know what you think at this stage. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would you? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.